Hi, I'm Sharella. Sometimes you just need to let go. A couple years ago, I had a program and a book that I was writing, and I saved it onto my computer. And just as backup, I took one of those little pen drives and I saved my information from that book and the program onto the pen drive. And then after a couple of months, that computer just died. It up and died. And I thought, oh, I'm so glad I have this pen drive backup. So relieved. So I borrowed another laptop until I could get one ordered in the mail. And so there's about a 2-week period where I had my little pen drive that I was sticking into this other laptop that wasn't mine, but I was just borrowing. And I thought, oh man, I got to be so careful with what is on this pen drive because it's the only place that I have it because it was on the computer that just died. And my son said that it would be kind of hard to retrieve that information. So I said, that's okay, I got a backup. Well, one day I had to go pick up one of my kids from somewhere, and I wanted to take my computer with me so that I could write after I picked up the kid. You know, sometimes the quietest place is in the car, so I just can use that car and do some work that I needed to have done. And so I carefully took that borrowed computer with a little pen drive sticking out of it and stuck it in the passenger seat behind the driver's seat. And I thought, this should be fine. It will be fine. I'll drive really carefully. Well, so I went and did my errand, and on the way back, I had to slam on the brake, of course, for some dumb reason, and the computer, I could just hear it toppling behind me and going onto the ground. I was like, oh no, what has happened? That was a terrible thing for me to have to stop, but it should be okay. So I got back home and I opened up the door, and you would not believe the pen drive had been smashed and had shattered into pieces. Nothing else was hurt. There was no other problems anywhere. The computer was fine and the pen drive was completely smashed. Imagine my distress as I thought, that's got everything on it from like the last 3 years, my program and my book. What am I going to do? So I raced inside, and my computer tech son was sitting there, and I handed him the smashed pen drive pieces and I said, can this be recovered? And he said, oh mom, that's going to be really hard. It can be done, but it's going to be really hard. And I made a decision as I looked at that smashed body of a pen drive in my hand and thought, could I just let this go? Maybe there's a reason why this was smashed into smithereens, because I didn't have it anywhere else and I just had this small little break. Maybe I can just let this go. And I had a strange sensation of that would be okay. Just let it go. After I'd been working on it and everything. So I did just let it go. I didn't try to recover it. And I got my new computer about a week later and started saving things on it and having a backup drive as well. And I found that I was able to write better things after that. I started to write a program that I still love and want to do more with. And I wrote another book on top of that that was way better than the one I had been writing. And I thought, okay, I think there was a reason why that happened. Though it was so distressful at the time, I can now see why that had happened. You know, when I was growing up and a teenager, my sisters, there's 4 sisters total, so 3 sisters that I had, and we would share clothes. And so we were always in each other's closet. And my older sister said to me, Sharella, whenever you bring one piece of clothing into your closet that's new, you have to take a piece out. And at first I was like, no way, I could never do that. I love everything too much. And I don't know why she thought she had to give me this rule, but she did. And I decided because she was my big sister, I'd follow her. So I would go through and I'd say, okay, what's the clothes I like the least? And of course, there was no clothes I wanted to get rid of, but finally I would settle on the one that I really had never worn. I loved it, but I'd never wear it. So I settled on it and let it go. And I still hold that ideal today. When I bring something into the closet, I need to take some stuff out. And I don't regret that because some of the things that need to go really need to go. And they just had a memory attached to it or something like that. I don't know if you've heard of Marie Kondo, the magical, what they call it? The magical joy, I can't remember, of tidying up. You know what I'm talking about, Marie Kondo method. And what she says about it is the life-changing magic of tidying up. She says, if something sparks joy, then keep it. If it doesn't, then let it go. Thank it, let it move on to somebody else. So some of those things that I've been keeping in my closet for so long, I will hold it and I'll say, I've never worn you and I really, really want to wear you, but for some reason I just don't. And then I have to ask myself, does it spark joy? No, it doesn't. I remember the person who gave it to me and I didn't like at the time that they gave it to me, I didn't like the article of clothing, but I felt like I should hold on to it. Or, whatever story I had behind it, I was like, okay, this doesn't spark joy. Let it go. Let it serve somebody else and thank it. Letting go of things in our life as well as the past is so cathartic. It's so helpful to be able to let go of things that are just going to help us free ourselves up. Forgiving other people from things from the past is so helpful, and it's hard, but to just continually be letting go of the things from the past. Here's a little physical tip. If you have constipation, like of your digestion system, you probably are hanging on to something that you need to let go of. Think through whatever that is just stuck in your brain, that's keeping you stuck, and let it go so that your digestion can flow smoother. Speaking of sparking joy and the Marie Kondo system, when I was younger, we went traveling, my family and I, to a lot of the United States. And whenever I would cross a border, I would get one of those little shot glasses. So they'd have like those visitor center souvenir shops, and I would get a little shot glass of the state. And so in time, I had dozens of these little shot glasses. And it got to be where I had so many that I thought, well, maybe I shouldn't be hanging on to these. And so in time, through the years, I slowly started just getting rid of the states that I like the least, getting rid of those and just being done with them. Now, you might think that I would say that I was glad that I did that, but now I am not. I'm like, what states have I not been to? Because I've been to 49 of the states, and I can't remember which shot glasses I got rid of or that I ever had. I remember for sure I had Mississippi, but I'm pretty sure I didn't have Louisiana. So that's the 50th state that I need to go to. But I wish that I had thought as I kept those shot glasses to see if they sparked joy. And they definitely did, because it just reminded me of that thrill of my sisters and I running into the souvenir shop and saying, ooh, this one's perfect. It's black with gold. This Rhode Island, this is so awesome. I want this shot glass. All of that joy. And I just slowly got rid of them. So don't let go of things that are not going to serve you to be done with. Though most things I say you can get rid of. So that's a thing too, is the timing of letting things go. And if you think about how God knows us better than we know ourselves, then he would also know what to let go of and what to keep, both figuratively and temporally. To ask him, okay, God, is this something that I really need to let go of? Is this a relationship that I need to let go of, or a paradigm, or just an old thought pattern that is not working for me? They say that if you take something away, that it creates a vacuum, and this vacuum wants to be filled. So if you're able to take away something that is not being helpful to you in your life right now, it creates this space that wants to be filled. And then you do find something to fill that space, and then usually it's better. Just like when I smashed that pen drive, I was able to make a better book and a better program by just truly just letting it go, just saying, okay, this wasn't it, let it go. I have since created so many wonderful things by that vacuum theory, just knowing that if something is gone, by the laws of nature, it has to be filled again by something else. So I wait patiently and expectantly and hopefully for whatever that thing is. There's Alcoholics Anonymous and 12-step group theory and saying that is, let go and let God. God knows what you can keep and what to let go of so that you can be the best version of yourself. What do you think that you need to let go of? What kind of a thing would you like to have become a vacuum that needs to be filled? Well, I know that if you trust in God and allow yourself that letting go, that you'll have the things refilled into those things that you need the most. Well, if you would like a life-changing program that talks about self-care, that might be letting go, or about just all-around better health with eating better and moving your body more, you can go and access my program, one of the few that I've made since I crushed that pin drive. And you can find this 91-day app-based program at www.honeydewhealthin91.com.